Hi and welcome back to the Funcraft channel. My name is Andreas and today I want to show you how I turned a humble branch into a shelving unit. I know that might sound a little bit weird. Why not just go out and buy some shelving brackets and some shelving parts and then put up a shelf? But the idea stems from some nights ago where I literally had a dream of a branch sprouting with shelves on it. So when I woke up, I grabbed my camera and headed to the garden. So last night I had a dream, and that was about shelving. Yes, not a very exciting dream, but at least it was a dream. And I went out to this pile of wood, and then I found a big stick. Here it is, the perfect branch. Maybe a little big, but so I just have to cut off a little stump there, cut off maybe a big portion of this, so we get some of these smaller branches in there as well. And then I had a thought. In here I have a lot of scrap wood that hasn't been used. Also over here there's a lot, and maybe we can use some of this for shelving. Actually, I'm just looking at this piece in the back here. Don't know if you can see it. What about that one? What I was thinking was a big tree right here, and then some shelving. Maybe here, there, and then one at the top where something could be, and it would look cool with the little tree going up. I've cut the first piece. It's the bottom. So this end is supposed to be on the floor, like that, and then this end is supposed to house the first shelf. I sanded the top flat because that was the only way that I could think of making this flat so a shelf can sit on top of that. And I have no idea how to fasten this to the ground or maybe to the wall. Actually, I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's just try and see if we can make it work. Now to the shelving part. Cut the first leg, and then want to cut the first shelving out of this board I found. The thing is here that it's very, very heavy and maybe a little bit too thick. I will try, but I don't think, maybe I will take another board because this is very, very heavy. So I made the first cut right now, and you can see I've matched the angle right here. However, in this old house, of course, the wall is not square, so I have to figure something out there. Either I can cut the piece to length, or I can fill in the gap. That first cut I did showed me how imperfect my wall is. It's an old house, so of course, why wouldn't the wall bow inwards? This meant that I needed to cut off some of the shelving to actually make it fit perfectly. I also tried some new router bits that I bought, and it was, I think, a good idea that I actually tried them before I used them on the shelves I have cut. But I think we actually found the right chamfer to the shelves. I think now I want to finish the shelves, and by finish them I mean give them a nice edge, and to that I've bought a cheap router bit collection, and I'm thinking of using this, but every time I've used the router something has gone wrong. So I'm going to test on a test piece first to see what depth I'm going to have here, and if I even can do it in this wood. Let's give it a try. Yes, and that is exactly why you would do a test piece. So here you can see why it was a good thing that, oh, please focus, why I did a test piece first. There's like this groove down here before it bevels, and I want the chamfer to be up here, right? So we have the smooth edge. But now I think I've dialed it in to, can you see this? So I think this is pretty cool. A good chamfer all the way around, and then maybe some sandpaper afterwards just to finalize. But I think it's a pretty cool edge. Okay, I think that worked pretty well. I got a nice chamfer to it. Just need to clean it up a bit, but I think it's looking better than before, and that's a win, I guess. It turns out my wall isn't that straight, so I've scribed the wall. So you can see here I've scribed the wall and made an offset, so I can cut along here. So I hope I don't ruin the piece, but there was like a centimeter of a gap between the board and the wall, because the wall is it has a bow in it. So I will try this, and then let's see how it fits, and let's set it up. Believe it or not, but it actually fits, and it's pretty close. Look at the line up against the wall. It's looking much better than I had anticipated, and then I just need some way I'm going to like glue this shelf to the wall. That's not the big problem. The problem is, how do I clamp it so it stays there until the glue is dry. I guess this was the best I could do with the clamping, but it's level and I've glued it. So I hope it's going to be strong enough to hold. The only thing the glue is going to do is just to keep it in place, and then the weight of the shelves is on the branch or the wood leg. Yeah, but I'm no engineer, so if it collapses, it's a fail. If it doesn't, it's a win. By the time I got each shelf cut and trimmed, I realized that it was a really big balancing act. And my solution was just really a lot of glue and only a few screws. But I guess this is how it is when I don't really plan out how to fasten each shelf and just rely on the structure of the branch itself. I haven't had any problems for it now, so I guess it turned out fine, but setting it up, it was pretty challenging. There we go. Now the second shelf has been placed, so I've not only put a lot of glue on it, but I've actually also fastened the wooden legs with some screws, both in the top here, also in the bottom here, and also underneath, right? So these will keep in place, and then hope the glue is enough for it not to fall down. But let's see. Next up is the branch going from here to there, I think, if that is possible. And then I think somewhere around here I would have the last shelf. So let's go get the branch and see what looks cool. What I was thinking here is some way, yeah, maybe this way, right? So up here, so it goes this way, and then it goes this way, because this angle, right, is almost the same as this one. So I wanted to finish up there. So I wanted the branch to stop up there. And then I want it, of course, to begin here. And then I think right here could be a good spot. I can cut this, and then I can focus on this half, and then this half afterwards, right? So I'm going to cut it here, and maybe also cut this, because then I don't need to match the angle on this branch to this, right? I don't have to do that, because I can just make it so it goes up to the shelf. It would have been easier just to make, you know, normal shelving instead of getting a stick into the house. It's a good thing that my girlfriend is not home. She wouldn't like that I'm bringing sticks into the house. However, I guess the fun part about this project was actually how organic the build was. Not a lot of straight edges, not a lot of measurement I could have done better. It was just look at the pieces and see how they fit. And steady hands. Good stuff. Then this. Gluing was quite messy, but my thought process was if I just use enough glue, it might stick. You can see me figure things out here, but it was a big balancing act and a lot of glue. It was very messy, but it might have fallen a few times. Oh, that was a bad magic trick. God damn it. For helvede. Okay, new plan, I think. There it is. Hopefully it will not fall. By the time I was finished, my hands were sticking together and I have used up all of my energy I had that day. I was just grateful that the whole thing didn't collapse. But nonetheless, this project actually learned me a few lessons. Lesson 1, angles are really hard. I don't know what it is, but I just find angles to be really hard to imagine in my mind before I actually do something with them. But I can also feel that every time I do some angles and I can see it in front of me, then I get even better in my head to imagine what it will look like in the end. Lesson number 2, working with organic structures that are not straight is quite difficult, but also really rewarding when you get it to fit. Lesson 3, a lot of glue makes everything stick, including the things that you don't want to stick. Lesson 4, planning will always help the process. But with all of these said and out of the way, I guess this was actually a really fun little project, but I think it actually gives a lot to the room and it's like a piece that has character. And this of course also lead me to one of the next videos I'm going to put on the channel is the renovating of this room, the bedroom, the master bedroom, and you will then see the whole room in its entirety. I really hope that you enjoyed this little project that I had for you. If you liked it, it is very much appreciative if you give this video a like and maybe share it with someone that also would like to see this kind of project for themselves. At least for me, I'm very proud of the result and it taught me a lot. I hope that this video also gave something to you as well. So with no further ado, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.